Let's taste two Rieslings. The first Riesling is a Clare Valley Riesling from Australia. And the second Riesling is a German Riesling from Mosel Valley in Germany. Let's look at the appearance. The Australian Clare Valley Riesling is pale lemon, and the German Riesling is medium lemon. Smell the Australian Riesling. It's very pronounced, very obvious aromas, and it's mainly citrus fruit such as lemon, lime, especially lime. I will use this as a perfect standard reference as lime aromas in a wine. It's very limey. And also it has white flowers like blossom, like honeysuckle, acacia, all those kind of flowers. And also this one has this kind of petrol, gasoline-like aromas. Of course, nice petrol aromas, not those kind of strong gasoline aromas you smell in a gas station. It's very fresh. Let's smell the German Mosel Valley Riesling. It's also pronounced, but aroma profile is very different. It still has lemon, but more apple, like red and green apple, and also floral notes, but the flowers are even more delicate. This kind of a hint of honeysuckle. And also this one has some jasmine, those kind of floral notes. More importantly, the fruit, other than this kind of apple lemon, it has some peach and nectarine. And also it has honey notes, very honey-like, but not lots of petrol-like notes. Let's taste the Australian Riesling from Clare Valley. Whoa. It's dry and very high acid. Lots of acidity. It wakes you up. The alcohol is medium. The body, I almost want to say light, but there are some flavor concentration to make it a bit fuller. So I would say medium minus body. And the flavor intensity is very pronounced, and lots of lime, lots of lemon, some apple, but more so it's about the limey lemon citrus fruit and petrol flavors. And those kind of lemon, lime, petrol flavors stay in the mouth for a long time, so it has long finish. Let's, on the other hand, taste the Mosel Valley Riesling from Germany. It's a bit tricky to taste this wine because this one does have quite a bit of sugar. It is medium sweet. It does have sugar. Acid is hard to tell because the sugar, the sweetness covers the acid. But I am still salivating a lot. So the acid is also very high. This is Riesling. Very high acid. Alcohol is low because lots of sugar will not completely convert to alcohol. So they have residual sugar over there. So it's not a dry wine and there are unfermented sugar. It only has 7.5% of alcohol by volume. The body is medium. Although it has lots of sugar, it has high acid, so the body is not that full. It has a freshness. The flavor intensity is pronounced and is mainly those kind of apple, peach, nectarine flavors. Less floral and not lots of petrol, but more honeyed flavors on the palate. The finish is also pretty long. It has this kind of lovely apple fruit, peach fruit, some lemon, and some honey on the finish. So let's talk about Riesling. Riesling is a kind of lovely aromatic grape, meaning it always have these kind of delicate floral notes. Like in both wines, they have some jasmine, honeysuckle, blossom, these kind of lovely white flowers. But the fruit of Riesling can express differently depending on the ripeness. It can have some apple fruit, some citrus fruit, or some stone fruit, and in some cases, like even riper, sweeter Rieslings, it has more tropical notes. But these kind of fruit and floral aromas never likes to have lots of other flavors to interfere them. For example, it doesn't like oak because those kind of delicate, lovely fruit and flowers doesn't need those kind of vanilla toast smoke from the new oak. That is why Riesling, when you make these wines, most of them are about the fruit and flower notes rather than the new oak. And let's talk about the growers. Growers can choose when to pick the Riesling grapes because Riesling, no matter how early or how late you pick them, they always maintain the high acidity. Therefore, in this Australian example, they pick it relatively earlier, so it's more about this kind of fresh citrus, lemon, lime flavors, and it's high acid, and the sugar in the grape is not that high, so they can ferment all the sugar into alcohol, resulting in a dry, high acid, citrus driven Riesling. On the other hand, this German Riesling is a Spätlese, as they call it on German labels, which means late harvest. Okay, Spätlese, late harvest, meaning the grapes were picked a bit later. That's why the sugar in the grapes has higher level, and the flavors is kind of riper. It's more than just citrus fruit. It has some ripe apple and also peach, apricot, nectarine flavors. And the sugar, because it's higher level, the winemakers can choose to ferment all the sugar into wine to make a relatively higher alcohol Riesling, or to keep this kind of very classic German Mosel style. They stop the fermentation at one point, leaving only about 7.5–8% of alcohol, but also leaving the sugar behind. But the sugar never tastes very sweet because you know that the very high acidity from the northern German region, Mosel, can balance the sugar in the wine. So there's a lovely sugar, sweetness, and acid balance in the Mosel Valley Riesling. Cheers!